What's going on, boys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is the big day. We're gonna try and get the Civic tuned today. Fingers crossed, hopefully everything goes well. What we have to do in order to get it tuned is we have to, wherever it went, we have to put the injectors in and do the map sensor. So today we are putting on proper fuel rail spacers, map sensor, Honda 4-bar, and then these Bosch EV14 injectors. We have our little sheet here to send to the tuner, and we're going to be going out and street tuning it. So I'm not going to get too many videos of that because there's just so much going on, but we will get a few pulls for you guys. But we got to get these injectors, map sensor, and everything of the sort in, and then we'll pick it up and go from there. First things first, we're just going to set the timing just to make sure all that's good to go. Looks okay. Right, boys, now that we've made sure the timing is okay, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly just install the map sensor because it's super straightforward. Then we're gonna get onto the injectors, also super straightforward stuff. First things first, let's disconnect the battery. We're working with sensors. Unplug this, take that off. Oh no. That screw is bloody stripped. Okay, fellas, stressful situation. This bolt was stripped. So I took the Dremel with the cutting blade, made a slot in it, so a flathead fits in there. This one's fine, but yeah, we got it to come out. So now we can replace this sensor. Old Denso map sensor out, new Honda 4-bar going in. Four-bar map installed. There she is, boys, 4-bar Honda, looking pretty in there. Now we got to go ahead and attack this fuel rail. So I'm just going to take this breather off to get me a little more access, and then should be able to leave the feet on. If I just disconnect the return, I should be able to swing it up out of the way just enough, or even just take the fuel pressure regulator off. We should be mint. Alright, boys, injector harness is off. Now we can take these adapter clips here and put them on the factory wiring. Just like that. They clip right into place. Boom. Now that all the adapters are on the harness, when we put the injectors in, we'll be good to go to just plug them in with their clips since the adapters are on. And now we can get to actually taking off the fuel rail and getting these injectors out of the car. Okay, boys, now that the fuel rail is loose and ready to come off, opening up our new injectors. These are Bosch EV14s, 550cc. Should do the trick. We're not looking to make the most crazy power numbers, just right around like 275 to 300 or so. Now that we have those out, let's go ahead, pop the fuel rail off, pull the injectors, get the spacers in there, and we should be set. Oh, a lot of gas. Oh, I need to undo the injector harness. Holy fuck, what is that? What the fuck is that that just landed on me? Sorry fellas, just got attacked by a goddamn bug in the wild. Fuck, there's a lot of fuel leaking in here now. That's not the most ideal. I hate having fuel everywhere when we're about to go drive. Oh, is that an injector top hat? Got an injector top hat stuck in there. Okay, now that the fuel rail is out and I think I've got the leakage taken care of, it's now time to install the fuel rail spacers. These guys here. We were actually never running them before, so that's not great. And hopefully that's enough for the new Bosch injectors. Alright, I'm just gonna start dumping them in here. Gotta remove these seals too. Okay. All those are out. I'm just gonna start taking injectors and placing them. Alright. Now let's try and get this fuel rail back on. Alright fellas, injectors are in. Jumpers are on. Now I'm going to connect the fuel rail, jumpers, and all should be well, boys. Time for tune. Okay boys, so the injectors and map sensor obviously need to be scaled, but I'm gonna go prime the fuel system to make sure there's no leaks in anything before we hit the road. Good?
Yep.
Alright boys, injectors are in. Obviously the car's not gonna run, but it fires up and I don't see any leaks. I'm liking this. Alright boys, I'm just gonna quickly try and raise the height just a little bit and we'll see. The bottom of the collar to the bottom, we have 2 inches. So I'm gonna try and raise it to maybe 2 1/4. It looks like the coilovers are pretty well maxed out already, so that sucks. We're too low. Alright boys, well considering I can't go any freaking higher than we already are, I'm gonna go ahead and call it good. We're gonna phone up the tuner and we're gonna start tuning this thing. I'll get a couple pulls for you guys and let's hope, fingers crossed, and pray that all goes well.
2,000 years later.
The turbo's a bit too big, it doesn't spool quick enough. We just got back from tuning and it went good and bad at the same time. The car is tuned, it's making boost, it's quick, but it's only making 5 pounds. We got back here and I was like, the wastegate came with 2 springs, a 5 and a 10-pound spring. And if you can see here, this is the spring that I didn't install, and I referenced the part numbers and looked at pictures, and this is indeed the 5-pound spring. So the 10 pounds in it stating we have a boost leak somewhere. But not only do we have a boost leak, it blew one of our titanium exhaust manifolds studs or nuts off. You can see here, right there. I lost a freaking titanium nut. I am not happy with that. I think I have an extra, but that freaking sucks. I'm gonna go see if I have an extra and try and torque all these down again, because that's crazy. I know for a fact I torqued all those. Don't know how that fell off, but she's long gone. Thankfully, Speed Factory gives you a spare, but if I lose this one, I'm hooped. Yeah, boys, so I guess we have more work to do. There's a boost leak we gotta chase, because like I said, I did confirm the part numbers on GoFastBit's website. This spring that is not in the car is indeed a 5-pound spring. So there's a boost leak somewhere, and I have a feeling that the culprit is going to be this blow-off valve, because it's not too loud and it wiggles. I could try maybe a fatter O-ring, but the snap ring is fully seated, it's fully in place, but it's kind of loose. Kind of freaking loose. None of the lines popped off. It's only making 5 pounds right now. It does feel really good, a hell of a lot better than NA, but it's not what I'd want. So I went and bolt checked all of the exhaust manifold studs, feed line, drain line, downpipe, and everything is checking out. I've just went ahead and I'm currently rotating the tires, because the ones from the rear have tons of tread, whereas the ones from the front don't have much tread left. So those are going on the rears, good treads going up front. We're gonna need tires sooner than later. Gotta fix this boost leak. Still, the fans don't work off the switch, so I have them just butt connected to our inline to the battery with a fuse and yada yada. Those work. Car didn't overheat, temp stayed good, and it's blazing hot today. We're actually under a heat advisory, a heat warning. It's gonna be up to 40 degrees Celsius. It's probably like 30 plus right now. It's incredibly hot, and it still didn't overheat, hitting boost, sitting out in the sun, pulling off to the side of the road, yada yada yada. Everything is going good. Luckily, I did have another Speed Factory nut to replace it. It was just one that fell off, but when I bolt checked them, all of them were actually a little bit loose. Same with the downpipe bolts. I'm just gonna do the turbo bolts now. Those are a huge pain in the butt, so hopefully those are okay. And yeah, boys, that's really all I got for you. Hopefully I'll get a couple more boost pulls for you guys, and then you can see how this thing runs. I've got the one so far, but hopefully I can compile a couple more. Yes, the car is tuned, but it's not finished. As you can tell, we just have like the OEM shitty valve cover and plug wire cover. I want to get black plugs. We're custom making a CNC plate for this that says Outlaw EG. I want to polish up all the raised emblems to a mirror polish, and then get this valve cover painted wrinkle black. So there is quite a bit of things to do still. I might just delete this blow-off valve setup and V-band it on, so that there is no way of a boost leak like that. New injectors, everything like that was good. Injectors work flawlessly, car drives amazing, and so far no leaks, knock on wood for me, boys. Fuel pump is also working good, no voltage drops or anything. I know a couple of you guys in the last video recommended that I probably put a relay on this fuel pump to hold steady voltage, but this car isn't making a ton of power. It's just enough to party with. I would like to hit that 10 pounds eventually, but when that does happen, I'm gonna need a tune revision, because it'll be making twice the boost that it makes now. So for now, I'm gonna search for the boost leak, but I don't have anything to test the system or charge it to see where the boost leak is coming from. I've double checked. There's only 5 couplers, one at the throttle body, one connecting this top pipe to the lower intercooler pipe, that pipe from the intercooler to this pipe, and then there's a coupler going up to the turbo. So 5 couplers total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of them are tight. All of them don't appear to be leaking. Everything looks sealed. None of them blew off. And then the only other things that it could really be, I mean, the wastegate, top one's vented to atmosphere because we're not doing electronic boost control, and the lower one wraps around and goes into the turbo. That didn't pop off. Blow off valve line that loops around to the boost gauge and into an evap, whatever that is. None of those blew off, and I did hear the wastegate working. It makes like a little psh when you let off. It's not very loud or anything because it's only 4 psi, or sorry, 5 psi, but at least we know this engine is going to be good at 5 psi and we can rip on it, but still want to make that 10 pounds, and we're just not there yet. Not only that, our water temp gauge in the dash, it lights up, but there's no signal coming through it. It just stays on 40 degrees. And then that silver one off to the side is our boost gauge. Right now I just have it set up with the vacuum line going to it so I can read boost. I still have to wire that in as well. So car is not done. Plenty more content to come, but it is tuned, running, driving, making 5 pounds of boost, and it feels pretty good. For what seems to be such a measly 5 pounds, when you're in this thing, it actually feels really quick. Keep in mind this thing hardly weighs 2,000 pounds. Even with me in it, it's a very, very light tin can of a car. So, I mean, I can only assume at 5 pounds it's maybe making 230 to 250. It's a lot better than the 170-ish it was making NA, but for all this money, I'd like to get more than 50, 60 horsepower out of the deal. But till next time, boys, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully we can track down this boost leak, get a couple wiring gremlins figured out, and it's time to party, baby. Peace out.